I don't know how many times I see candy wrappers, crap, coffee cups. I got nailed with a Tim Hortons coffee cup. Who throws a coffee cup out the window? What are you doing? When you're out on the road, there are some courtesies, and that's what we're gonna call them. Some people call them pet peeves, but I'm gonna turn it around and we're gonna call them courtesies. They're common courtesies as truck drivers in our lives out on the road that, you know what, they should be a given, but a lot of the times they're not. Now, I've gone around to a bunch of friends of mine and other drivers, and we've discussed what are some of the common courtesies that maybe back in the day that were given that we've kind of got away from, and we're just gonna quickly touch on a couple of these. The first one, and I know that 100 of you guys right now are gonna roll your eyes when I say this, but it's the fuel island. The first thing is, how many times have you pulled into the J or to a Love's? They've got 10 fuel islands, they're all full, and about 2 truck lengths back, there's one guy sitting there and he's basically blocking off about 4 of them. And what he's doing is he's waiting for the next available, whichever one comes empty, and then he's gonna scoot in and grab it. Don't do that. That's just not cool to do. A common courtesy, the courteous thing to do is if there's 10 islands and they're all full, you go to the far left. Okay? Go to the far left and grab the first one. That way, nobody has to drive around you. So you go to the far left, the next guy pulls in beside you, the next guy pulls in beside him, and so forth down the line. Now, I know I'm asking for a miracle, and you'll probably never see this happen, but this is the courteous way to do this. If you're sitting back here, people gotta come and drive around you. Now, nobody wants to drive around, and nobody wants to clip another truck in a fuel island, because then you're gonna have a whale of a problem. Nobody wants problems in the fuel island. The second topic on the fuel island is the pull-up lane. When you've got your fuel, there's a lane ahead of you for you to pull into. Now, that doesn't mean you gotta run around and be fast. If you need to pump 250 gallons into your truck, it's gonna take you 15 minutes to do that. Pump your fuel, wash your windows. I generally do a quick walk around the truck, check my straps, kick my tires, fuel my truck. But then when I'm done, and when you're done, the courteous thing to do here is you pull through. You pull up to the pull-up lane, then pull your brakes, shut your truck off if you want to, and then go inside, get your fuel receipt, go to the washroom, grab a coffee. If it takes you 7 or 8 minutes, 10 minutes, that's fine. The guy behind you, chances are it's gonna take him 10 minutes anyway. That's what you do. There's nothing more irritating or uncourteous as somebody pulling in, getting their fuel, doing all this stuff, closing their door and walking inside and leaving you hanging. That's just not cool. Do not do that. Pull up and give the next guy a chance to get his fuel. Everybody's in a hurry in this business. It doesn't matter, you know, if you're not in a hurry that day, the guy behind you is. The next thing we're gonna quickly talk about is on-ramps. Now, I know you're rolling your eyes, don't. Legally, you're not obliged to move for a car merging when it comes down the ramp, or a truck for that matter. The law is that they have to legally merge with you. It's their responsibility to safely merge onto the highway. It's not the highway's responsibility for everybody to get out of the way and let them merge. We do that because it's courteous. How many times do you see a car come down and the signal comes on and you'll see cars, trucks, everything throw their signal on, they'll move over, the car will merge out, get up to speed and go. One of the problems we have in the US, with the US, is their ramps are a lot shorter than ours. You'll notice in Canada, our on-ramps are generally a lot longer. So a car has the opportunity to be doing 65 miles an hour by the time it gets to the ramp to get out onto the highway. In the US, they don't. So it's just a courteous thing. When you see cars coming down ramps, you know what? If you've got the room and you've got the time, move over. It's just a courteous thing to do. Why push a bad position? Why put yourself in a bad position? And why put, let's just say, a woman and her 2 kids in the car, why put them in a bad position? It doesn't need to happen. I would even go so far as if you can't move over and you can't get out of the way and cross lanes, you know what, kick your cruise off and just back out of her. Let her move on and get up to speed and go, then click your cruise, get back up to speed. Now that's all I'm gonna say about on-ramps, because that's a subject that we could talk all day, and that would just truly be a bitch session. We're not gonna do that. It's just courteous. We're just talking about common courtesies. Let's be courteous. Another common courtesy, and this one happened to me on Tuesday. I'm going southbound on 57 out of Chicago. It's a 55 zone. I'm behind a truck. He's doing 55. I decided I don't want to quite do 55. I want to do 57. So I come out and I pass him, and I'm passing him, and there's nobody around. I've got lots of time, and I get about halfway up his trailer, and what do I see? It comes right out of his cab and goes ba-doink on my windshield, and that's a cigarette butt. I hate that. I had some very unspiritual things to say to that man. I didn't say them, but I had some very unspiritual things to say to that guy. Do not throw your garbage or your cigarette butts out the window. Now, if it would have been summertime and at that speed, chances are my driver's window would have been down. That cigarette butt hit me dead center in the driver's side, right in my field of view. Chances are that butt would have, instead of bouncing off my windshield and going out here, it would have been sucked in the window. You want a lit cigarette in your lap? I don't. It's the same with garbage. How many of us are still throwing garbage out the window? Look around the highways. You think it's all coming out of the cars? No. I don't know how many times I see candy wrappers, crap, coffee cups. I got nailed with a Tim Hortons coffee cup. Who throws a coffee cup out the window? What are you doing? Let's show a little common courtesy. And you know what? It isn't good for the planet. Like, cigarette butts aren't biodegradable. Remember that. You throw a cigarette butt out the window, it takes 200 years to get rid of. The next one we're gonna quickly talk about, and I can't believe that I actually have to say this, is emergency vehicles. People, what are we doing out there? Emergency vehicles. Tow truck drivers, ambulance, fire, police. If you're going down the road and you see blue lights flashing on the side of the road, or you see the orange of a tow truck in combination with some red, move over. At this day and age, there is no reason for an emergency worker on the side of the road to lose their life. They're coming out to help you. They're coming out to help me. The courteous thing to do here is get over. And if by chance in a million years you cannot get over, somehow or another you're hodged, you back it down. You back off the speed, you get down to almost a crawl if you have to when you go by them to make sure that they are safe. You go out every week or every 2 weeks or however long you're out there with the full expectation that you're going home to your family. You know what? That guy got up this morning, he put on his uniform, he got in his squad car, or he got in his ambulance, or he got in his fire truck with full expectations that he was going home that night to his family. They're no different. They don't deserve that. Just keep that in mind, okay? I hated to even have to bring this up, but it is something that's still going on. How many times do we see it? Guys in trucks, guys in cars, it doesn't matter. Get over. The next common courtesy we're gonna quickly talk about is something that a lot of people really don't think about, and that's yard courtesy. Basically, when you're going in to pick up a load or you're going in to deliver a load, you're going into somebody else's yard or their facility. Now, basically, you have to consider yourself a guest, and that's how I look at it. When I'm going on to somebody else's property, it doesn't matter that I'm bringing you your freight that you paid for, and it's yours. It makes no difference. It doesn't give me any entitlement. I'm a guest coming onto that property. Now, when you come onto the property, the nice thing to do is to remember at all times that pedestrians, shunt trucks, or any other vehicles in there that work in that yard all have the right of way. I don't have the right of way. I don't even know where I'm going half the time. I usually need to come in, pull off to a side somewhere where it's safe, and go find a shipping receiving door to go in. I'm a guest. Shunt trucks always have the right of way in any yard that you're in. It doesn't matter. Safety first, shunt drivers first. He wants to go home that night as well. Pedestrians. How many times do you pull into a yard and the parking lot for the people that work inside is on the other side of the yard and they have to walk through the yard. When you see people walking through the yard, give them a break. You know, they don't have to move for you. You're 82 feet long and weigh 80,000 pounds. You know, you stop for them. Let them through. Once you're unloaded, now I'm a flatbed driver, so van guys this doesn't really apply to you, but flatbed drivers, once you get unloaded, if there's 3 or 4 other guys waiting, or there's a couple other guys waiting to get offloaded, don't sit there and roll up your tarps, roll up all your straps, put all your equipment away. I will generally, while they're offloading me, if I'm not needed in the process, I'll roll up a tarp or my tarps and get them done. But all of my straps and chains and binders and whatever equipment I'm using, throw it on the trailer and move. Ask the operator, the forklift operator, is there somewhere around I can go? If it's a big enough yard, they'll generally tell you, yeah, just go pitch yourself in the corner there and take care of it all. Don't hold up the guy behind you, because just like you, he wants to get in, get offloaded, and go get his reload. So it's just a common courtesy. Move, get out of the way. Don't hold up the process. The last thing I want to talk about, and it's become more of an issue over the last few years, is when I'm passing you and I'm good and I've cleared you and you're giving me the okay, please don't flash your high beams at me, especially at night. Every one of the new model trucks and even the older trucks, you have the option to dim the lights or turn your lights off. With the new lights, with the HIDs and the LED headlights, who needs to be blinded by that? You know, most trucks have a dimmer. Give me a dimmer. Give me a dim your lights or flip your lights off and flip them back on. HID headlights are blinding even during daylight. So stop flipping off your high beams at me. It drives me absolutely crazy and blinds me. I'm old. Guys my age can't handle that. You burn the retinas out of my eyes, I gotta pull over for 20 minutes before I stop seeing the sun. And if you've got fog lights on your truck, and most of us do, if it's a nice clear night, don't run with your fog lights on. Fog lights are for fog. They're for bad inclement weather. But if it's a nice day, and a lot of the guys, they'll take the standard fog lights out of their truck and they're putting these new LEDs or HIDs in. Man, these things are 1,000,000 candle watt bulbs in there. Do you know how bright that is? That's like looking at the sun. If you don't need your fog lights, please turn them off. Just be courteous. They're not necessary. Don't blind me with your high beams, dim your lights, and don't run with your fog lights on. Being an OTR driver is a tough enough job on a good day. You know what? If we could just maybe be a little more courteous with each other and just some of these reminders that we've talked about, just think about, hey, we can all have a better day and the people around us will have a better day. Don't forget to give us a like and hit that subscribe button.